Women who live alone, what do you keep in your home to feel safe? One night I had a nightmare so vivid of someone entering my apartment via my second-floor balcony that I found myself standing outside my bedroom door, disoriented and ready to fight. I had never felt unsafe in my apartment, but that dream really shook me and made me think I needed to be better prepared. I couldn't afford a security system, but I had a bunch of tiny bells left over from a craft project. I tied them at intervals along a long piece of string and hung it on the balcony door in a way that, if the door opened, it would make quite a bit of noise. Old school security alarm. I use a Kevin McAllister style security system of leaving crap in front of my door so anyone breaking in will knock shit over and I'll hear it. My dog for tangible threats, and my cats for spiritual threats. After this guy hid behind a door and kept trying find me in my building over 3 weeks, never caught, I have 2 door jams. One for my main door and one for my bedroom door as a fail-safe if he gets past the front door to buy more time for emergency services to respond or to reorient myself with weapons I keep in my bedroom. You'll see in the pics, https://imager.com/u8gwdo. The door ham was effective even when he shattered the door in half trying to gain entry one night. My dog actually saved my life. He knew he was hiding behind the door and refused to let me pass and huffed a warning. I heard him breathing through the door grate and was able to rush through before he could slam the door on my dog. Hero Dog Tax, https://imager.com/dbx4ibq. Since then he now huffs to alert me when men seem to be following me and also makes a loud single bark if he hears someone at the front door. It's very helpful. I usually remember to lock the doors, but that's about it. I have a lot of strategically placed 3-wick jar candles. I don't actually burn them, they're there for pleasant scent and the fact that they can crack a skull. I had an incident many years ago, and as soon as you start lobbing those things your target's gonna run. I used to keep a baseball bat with a sock on the end near my bed when I lived alone. It's to give you a second chance to swing if someone grabs the bat on your first swing, they'll be staring a rando sock in their hand when you nail him in the balls or face. Thankfully, I never had to use it. I no longer live alone, but when my husband is out of town, I feel safe knowing that I know all of my neighbors well enough to run to their house at any hour and they'd let me in. I also have 2 fierce guard dogs, https://imager.com/q097ydia, that bark anytime anyone gets near our house/me. I don't live alone anymore, but when I did, my dog made me feel safe. Edit to add that even living with someone, my dog is a great alarm and safety system. Red heart. My cat and my cat. I've lived alone in a downtown city and out of the city. What made me feel safe in the city was living in an apartment with a door that was inside a building rather than outside. Essentially, you had to have a key or passcode in order to get in, then keys to get in my apartment. However, I lived on the first floor, so I bought a door blocker and would put it behind my door as soon as I got home. I also have a baseball bat near my bed. I would sadly also have my blinds closed. Now, in my current place, I made sure I lived on the top floor and was a 2-door building. I still have a baseball bat, but I feel safer than when I lived downtown. When I lived alone in an apartment, I bought men's shoes from Goodwill and left them outside by the doormat so PPL didn't think I lived alone. That and my 22 made me feel safe. I no longer live alone, but when I did I was very intentional about who knew where I lived and who I brought over. Current and ex-partners are far more likely to be dangerous than random strangers. Other than that, keeping doors and windows locked and alarmed doors when needed and maintained a mantra that I've done all I could, and stressing beyond that was no more helpful than being at peace. Living in fear is a prison. My dog, large heavy spiky cacti around the windows, and this sounds silly, but I have these enormous heavy book ends with handle looking things at the top. A baseball bat. Alexa can call emergency services. I read somewhere that someone attempting to break in will not spend more than 5 minutes getting in. Sadly, the point is to make your house less appealing and more trouble to break into than someone else's. My 130 pounds doggy. Huge sweetheart unless he thinks you're threatening me. A dog. He's little and fluffy, but any dog deters break-ins because they make noise and get in the way. It also goes a long way to quiet that paranoid "what if someone is hiding in the basement" voice, because I know he would smell an unusual person in the house. That, and honestly I stopped watching crime shows. For as much as I love detective stories, it took me way too long to put it together that maybe my anxiety of being raped and murdered could be related to watching TV shows all day where someone gets raped and murdered, then going for a drive and listening to a podcast about someone who got raped and murdered, then unwinding before bed with a murder mystery. I stick to sitcoms now and I'm in a much happier headspace. I put dowels in the windowsills, lock all the doors, bolt front door X2, pepper spray in the bedside table, sleep with my phone next to me. Doorbell camera, blink, with echo show that can snap to a door view, a hockey stick at the top of the stairs, and a hammer by my bed. Rottweiler. Wasp spray on your nightstand. It sprays 50 feet. When I lived alone, I would put those sliding window security locks in every window so they couldn't be wedged open, and I would even wedge chairs under doors. A dog also helps. And I'd have a nice bedroom door lock, lol. I don't know. I guess I was trying to make a bunch of hard obstacles before they could get to my room. My mom keeps a giant fucking dog in her home to feel safe, and I gotta say, she really is safe with that big bastard there. A few security measures, but frankly, it's so safe in this little town where I live, Denmark, that I can leave my bicycle fully loaded with groceries while I pop in at another store or at the library, and everything will still be there when I get back out. Hell, I've even forgot to lock my front door for a few days every now and then, and absolutely nothing happened. The only 2 times that I've had something serious happen, it was someone close to me that was the cause. So I'm not particularly worried about my safety in my place in general, but I've gotten a lot more picky about who I let in. Nice try, Prowler. A bat. Deadbolt on bedroom door and bathroom door. Bear spray and baseball bat. A sassy shepherd and a gun. All I need is my big dildo, and it makes me feel safe every time I'm alone. 2 reactive 25 pounds dogs, several years of martial arts training, and my readiness to shit my own pants for rape prevention. I live in an apartment full of cameras in the building, and I got a 22. My dad gave me. I feel pretty safe at my own home. Although to be fair, I did upgraded my lock, did that at every apartment I ever lived actually. My spouse is home alone once or twice per month when I'm away for work. She bought her own gun after we had a home invasion in 2016. Since then we've also had a home security system put in and adopted a pair of German Shepherds, one of which is actually a retired K-9 officer. The other is just a 90 pounds butterfly who loves everyone, but the robbers and rapists don't need to know that. A set of nunchucks, Granny's cane, my machete, and 3 vicious felines. They wake me up by growling. They do a wonderful job, and I spoil them rotten. Also, a loaded 45. Beaming face with smiling eyes. I have a cat for pest control, spiders and rats, etc. I had a mini poodle who weighed 15 pounds and was very protective of me. Poodles are great dogs because they're fiercely protective of their person and is not a restricted breed. Very easy to train as well. Pew pew. I don't feel unsafe in my own home. Nothing. I've personally felt safe in every apartment I've ever lived in. Don't feel like anybody can get in without me letting them in. I lived in an apartment complex. which I believe is much safer than a house at times. I had a few things in front of my door that would make noise, and I would also always double check that I had fully locked my door. Being in a studio apartment, it was easier to keep myself safe OTW to the apartment. Like when I would get in the elevator with maybe a delivery man or someone that I had never seen in the building, or even someone that gave me bad feelings, I would go up a few floors or down a few floors. Then I would use the staircase to make my way to my apartment. I know it's a lot, but it also was my first time living alone, in Toronto, as an undergrad university student. So I had a bit of reason to be paranoid. My cat is my familiar who can absorb unworthy souls who step upon her grounds. Also I have a .30-06 rifle in case she's sleeping and needs not be disturbed. Shocked. I no longer live alone, but I lived on the first floor of an apartment in a shady area. All my curtains were closed 100% of the time, and I usually fell asleep with my now fiancé on the phone. Of course all my doors were locked 100% of the time as well. Lived alone with 3 kids for 15 YRS. Asterisk cameras 360 degrees around the exterior of the house with motion lights and alerts. Asterisk deadbolts on all exterior and interior doors, including interior garage door. Asterisk padlocks on the gate to my backyard. Asterisk window film and locks on all first floor windows. Asterisk compact, modern sporting, and scatter style defensive tools. Asterisk CCW permit. Asterisk very barky dog, smiley face. Asterisk pepper spray in every purse/bag, on my keychain, and work lanyard. Asterisk disabled the auto unlock feature on my vehicles. Asterisk kept my garage clear so I could park in my garage rather than on the driveway/street. Asterisk good front and rear dashcam with sentry/parking mode feature engaged. Asterisk app on my phone, to check in with a trusted family member each day, 2-way. Asterisk got to know my next door and across the way neighbors and made a habit of letting them know when I would be traveling, expecting visitors, etc. We are blessed to have had the same neighbors on 3 sides for 10+ years. This all evolved over time, as I learned from my own and others' experiences. When I met my, now, husband, he was at first taken aback, but now is as security focused as me, and we've got his mom set up with similar systems and tools.